am the most beautiful girl in this village and no one can stand in my way.
Move! The word came sharp. It cut through the noise of the market like a blade. Move! Lila pushed the old woman hard. Not by mistake, not gently, hard. The old woman stumbled backward. Her foot slipped on the dry ground. Her walking stick flew from her hand and hit the earth with a dull sound. Clack! The basket she was carrying tipped over. Bitter leaves scattered across the dust. The market stopped. No shouting, no crying, just silence. A silence so heavy, it felt like someone had covered the village with a cloth. Women froze with baskets still balanced on their heads. Men paused with coins halfway into their palms. Children stopped running. Even the goats stopped chewing. The old woman stood there, breathing slowly. She did not insult Lila. She did not raise her voice. She did not curse loudly like people expected. She bent down. Slowly, painfully, she picked up her walking stick. Then she whispered, so softly that only the wind heard her, "May your eyes see what your heart refuses to see." Some people shivered. They did not know why. Lila snorted. She brushed dust from her wrapper and walked away like nothing had happened. Her steps were loud. Her back was straight. Her head was high. She did not look back, but many eyes followed her. Lila had always walked like this, like the village was too small for her feet. She greeted no one properly. She answered elders without respect. She spoke like someone who believed the world owed her something. People noticed. They always had. Near the pepper store, the woman shook her head slowly. She has crossed the line today. Another woman replied quietly. She crossed it long ago. At the palm oil shed, two men spoke in low voices. She has a sharp tongue. Yes, and sharp things cut both ways. No one laughed. This was not funny gossip. It was the kind of talk people use when they are tired. Lila walked past the well. Two young girls stopped talking when they saw her. One whispered, "She will hear." The other answered, "She always hears. She just does not care." Lila heard them. She smiled. Not because she was happy, but because she liked fear. At home, her mother sat outside sorting beans. When she saw Lila's face, her hand stopped moving. "Lila," she said gently, "what trouble followed you today?" Lila rolled her eyes. Everybody likes drama. Her father came out slowly and stood beside her mother. He looked at Lila carefully. Not her beauty, her eyes. "You walk like someone chasing tomorrow," he said. "Be careful what follows you." Lila laughed. "You both worry too much." She went inside. That night, the village slept lightly. Dogs barked for no reason. The wind moved strangely through the trees. The moon hid behind thin clouds. Lila turned on her mat. Sleep refused to stay. She felt watched, but she told herself it was nothing and closed her eyes. By the time dawn broke, a scream tore through the small compound where Lila lived. Her mother rushed in. Her father followed, blinking in the weak morning light. And then they stopped. Lila's face had changed. Dark patches spread across her cheeks like spilled ink. One side of her face drooped slightly, pulled downward as if invisible hands were shaping it. Her lips twisted. One eye looked smaller than the other. For a moment, no one spoke. Outside, the village began to stir. Some villagers moved closer to peek. Some whispered. She pushed the old woman. So it is true. This is no ordinary sickness. Even those who had disliked Lila before felt uneasy. There was fear now, respect mixed with it. Her parents tried everything. They rubbed herbs, they prayed, they begged, but nothing worked. The village started talking quietly, just enough for Lila to hear. "She always thought she was better than everyone," muttered a woman near the well. "Yes," replied another, "but pride sometimes comes back heavier than a river stone." Lila, lying in her mat, heard every word. Her chest tightened.
Her pride began to crumble under the weight of her own reflection. By the third day, her face grew worse. Her breathing became heavy. Sleep was nearly impossible. Even standing for a few minutes caused her joints to ache sharply. The village stopped laughing outright. They no longer whispered insults. They watched. And waiting can be worse than mocking. Finally, her father spoke to the herbalist. "This is beyond medicine," he said. "We need guidelines." The herbalist nodded slowly, his eyes narrowing as he studied Lila. "This is not ordinary illness," he said. "It is the work of what she disrespected. The old woman, she cursed Lila." Lila's eyes widened. "That dirty old woman? I would never beg her." Her mother shook her head. "You must, Lila, or it will not stop." Lila pulled her hands away stubbornly. "I am not lowering myself to her. Let the village laugh. I do not care." The herbalist sighed. "Then your suffering will grow. Only humility can heal what pride breaks." Days stretched into nights. Lila's pain increased. She could barely walk. Eating became a struggle. Every movement was a reminder that the old woman's curse was real. Her parents' faces were etched with worry. They whispered among themselves, "What will we do if she does not listen? Have you ever seen pride punished like this?" Even the villagers spoke, quietly, observing her from afar. "She was always harsh. Now the spirits teach her," said another. Yet Lila refused to acknowledge the old woman's power. Her pride clung stubbornly to her bones. One night, the pain became unbearable. She lay curled on her mat, tears streaming silently. Her mother's gentle hands wiped them away. "You will die if you do not humble yourself," her mother whispered. Her father sat beside her. "My daughter, we cannot lose you. Please, beg her." Lila looked at their faces, tired, frightened, full of love. Something inside her cracked. She swallowed. She nodded. At first light, she wrapped a cloth around her head, hiding her disfigured face. She left quietly without telling her parents or the villagers. Her legs trembled. Her breath came in painful gasps as she walked past the shrine, through farmlands and into the forest where the old woman lived. 1 mile, 2 miles, 3. By mid-afternoon, she saw a small mud hut with smoke curling from the roof. The old woman was outside, grinding herbs slowly, deliberately, like she had been waiting. Her heart pounded, her knees shook. She fell to her hands and knees. "Mother, please forgive me," she whispered. The old woman looked at her quietly, without surprise. "I was wrong. I was proud. I pushed you. I disrespected you. I am sorry. Please help me. I beg you." Her voice shook. Snot and tears mixed. The old woman studied her carefully. Then she said softly, almost a murmur, "Pain teaches where words fail. Your heart must change. Then your body will follow." She did not give herbs. She did not chant. All she did was turn and went inside. Lila felt something loosen inside her, as if invisible chains were falling away. When she returned home, exhausted but hopeful, her parents rushed to her. I begged her," Lila whispered, voice trembling. And slowly, very slowly, her face began to heal. Not fully perfect, but calm. The village noticed. Some were silent, others whispered, "She has changed." Some said, "Pride is heavy, but it teaches." The lesson was clear. Disrespect cannot hide. Pride has a cost. Humility is the only cure. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, comment, and share to get notified when the next story drops.